demons and everything have a different vibration. Aliens have a vibration. They could walk through a wall, so they can change their vibration. Deities or demons can change their energy to be whatever they want. I mean, including
what about
shapeshifters
when we're dream walking in our lucid dreams?
See, that's something too.
That's different.
Well, that's different because in the physical reality, it has to take on the physical form. Now, there's many people. I studied with a native person that was teaching shapeshifting as well. I don't want to do it. I don't need to do it. But I was with my teacher, and we went to a town, driving through a city at 65 miles an hour, going to every street light, passing every car, and we got to the place where we wanted to go, where he wanted to go, and then he did some incredible stuff when we got there. But he made himself invisible. And he says, don't worry, they can't see us. So, I mean, that's shape-shifting. But many people in history have been shape-shifting or moved to two places at the same time. But that's only into the third realm of the physical reality. It's the third dimension, not realm. Realms, I say, are beyond the dimensions. The dimensions are part of each reality, and there's three to each one. But like on the astral plane, I say there's the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the last one is...
Well, where did you get these changes in your mind to accept? And if it's not in a world religion like Ekankar, was it in Ekankar you decided? Because all of this is sound, folks. He's communicating with words that we understand because we speak the same language, meaning English. But that doesn't mean that they were originally English in thought or creation.
I don't know if I explained this to you or not. Paul Twitchell, who created Ekankar, took it from Shab Yoga from India. All right? Paul Twitchell met with a woman. Her name's Alnick. She's 70-something years old. She claims to be one of the 7 beings that came to this planet from Venus. She came here at 6 years old, and she taught that all her life. She just was up at Mount Shasta last month. I wish I could have went to see her. But,
is it A-L-M-E-C, or how do you spell her name?
A-L-N-E-C. I'll have to send you the link. I'm there with spelling. You know that. It's Alnick. Just put woman from Venus. But she teaches a lot of things. But she's been around. She's been around since 70 years ago. So she said she started here when she took a body at 6 years old. It was 7. Now, Vetter, the other guy that was in the White House.
Omnic. Okay, just for the people, let me spell it, Tommy, so people can find it, okay? Because we're bringing up the Viragi Ekmaster Gecko 6 million years ago, Venus. But the Venus trilogy of Omnec, O-M-N-E-C, Onec, O-N-E-C. Before, it says the woman from Venus, Omnec, O-M-N-E-C. Before I had met Paul Twitchell, the founder of Ekankar, Paul knew me from the astral. So that was an interview with the woman from Venus Tommy just mentioned. You can look up and get a PDF, HTTPS, it's ://. Your eyes are used to seeing that. And then put OMNEC-ONEC.com. And it says, it's a PDF. Look it up on Google. An interview with a woman from Venus. We're not anything we talk about, folks. We're just talking generally entertainment, blah blah blah. It doesn't mean that we believe or don't believe. It's just, we're just talking here. It's blog talk. What can I say? So tell people, did Paul Twitchell, was he the original? It says 6 million years ago, Venus with the Variagi Ekmaster. But did he create Ekankar? It says galactic.no.rune Oneg. What here?
Well, see, here it was. Shab Yoga was around a really long time.
Okay.
And the Shab Masters. There was 5 of them.
What country was that?
India. It started in
India.
The late 1700s. And then each one of them stayed with Master for like 90 years. The other one was like 60 years. To the one that's there now, who's one of the youngest masters of Shab Yoga, and then they split into 2 other masters. But Paul Twitchell went to India. He studied there for 2 years. He created Ekankar. Ek means the sound and light of God, and Ankar means the study of. So it was the study of the light and sound. But he took the words from Shab Yoga and added letters to them so that he could copyright them in his own words. So,
That's
I mean,
smart. Back in that day.
Well,
now, back in the day, we had. Was he before Eckhart and?
He came out with second part in, I think, 1964.
Eckhart and Ron Hubbard. Remember, there's so many guys coming out. They even invited the guy in the wheelchair before he died over to a meeting in, I think it was San Francisco. What was his name? And the scientist.
We're not talking about spiritual people.
What, Diana?
I mean,
Tony Robbins.
He died. Robin.
Okay, so we're talking, folks. We're talking about different things like where we're getting all the realms and all the Eckhart, ECKRT, and Eckankar. Eckankar.
Eckankar and Shab Yoga are the only two religions on this planet that talk about the higher realms, at least. They talk about the gods on each one. Now, even Alnek, however you say it. Now, I wanted to talk to her because she doesn't know anything about Jesus except what her race told her. On Venus, they told her the story of Jesus, so she doesn't know the truth about Jesus, which I wanted to talk to her about. I mean, I talked to her person that she lives with. If she wants to charge me $50 to talk to her, I said maybe I will when I get the money. But again, it's still... Now, she came down with Vector. Remember? Now, he's the invisible man in the White House. There's a whole story on him, too. Victor, the unknown person in the White House. He stayed at the White House for a couple of years, teaching there. And they didn't believe he was powerful. They tried to arrest him and everything else, and they brought him right into the White House. There's a couple books written on him, but he's one of the 7 Venetians that came down to this planet. If you believe it. I'm not saying I'm 100% into any of it.
Are they spiritual or are they religious? Because they have a belief system or what? Are they spiritual or are they religious?
To me, spirit means God. Without God, it's religion. I mean, religion says God, but they don't know God. So you can't talk about something you don't know. So yeah, it's a contradictory. So, but she was talking about their race, and see, they always talk about the race that brought that race there and who brought this race here. They never get any further than that. Aliens can't. The human race is, I'd say, the most spiritual race out of all the alien races. Not the dimensional beings, not the ones that come through dimensions and stuff, but the ones that have a body and have to travel on a spaceship. So they're solid beings, or a solid vibration, compared to a being that doesn't have to travel on a ship. Deities don't travel on ships. Angels don't travel on ships. But aliens have to. So there's a big separation between them. So when they say, I work with an alien or I work with a god, I work with an angel, it depends how it appeared to them. Now, going to the Bible, anybody in the Bible, when they said they met with an angel, like even Muhammad, he said he worked with Gabriel. How does he know it was Gabriel? The first time he met with him, he didn't know who it was. The second time he met with Gabriel, he said, oh, it's Gabriel. Now, any entity, and I work with demons as well, I did exorcisms, but when you work with an entity, they can say whatever they want. And that's like I got into a big debate with Janet. And she was talking, now she's going for her 2nd degree in hypnosis. I said, you go to school all you want. You're not going to learn anything. Because if you're not spiritual enough to understand the inner worlds, you can't hypnotize a person and help them spiritually. Because when you hypnotize a person, which I tried to tell Janet, you hypnotize those entities and all the beings around that person, including the beings that are around you. And they are all willing to jump in that person and talk. So when you say, who are you? They'll say, I'm this or I'm that. It doesn't mean that person that you hypnotize is that person. I studied with the top army hypnotist in the late 60s. He was hypnotizing the people in the army, and he proved that people could be taught to use a gun and kill somebody under hypnosis, which hypnosis says you can't do. So, yeah, it's a contradictory. And I only go to the truth, and I proved it to myself. I told you, I did the story on that. I hypnotized all my friends in my neighborhood. and I had them hypnotized for almost a year. And I could do whatever I wanted with any one of them anytime, seriously. So the idea you can't make a person do what they don't want is a lie. It's called reconditioning. The HARP system, if you listen to the special with Jesse Ventura when he had Al Bielek on, he says the HARP system can reprogram anybody to do anything. And here's something people don't want to know. Ashtar Command was created. It's a certain vibration. If you adjust your vibration, you could be in tune with Ashtar, if that's what you assume to be reality. But the Army created it in the late 70s, or mid-60s, 70s, I should say. So there's a lot of things that we perceive and we say, oh, it's real. Experiences have to be proven the same as life has to be proven. How do you know you're even here? I mean, how do you know it's not the dream that you're in your dream right now? So all those things, there's ways to go about doing it. I mean, even past lives, when you go through your awareness of it, you can pull up artifacts and see if they existed or are real, and places where you go. All this is critical, because when you go through ascension, all this is let go because you already attained all this stuff already. You don't need to learn who you were in past lives. You already know it, or you should know it. Because you can't rise into the mental plane or the soul plane being not aware. Awareness is all that matters in the higher realms. Because at that point, you are aware of what you can do as soul. And the higher you go, the more soul can do. So if people want to stay in the lowest level, I would always say, why? You live in the place of pain, suffering, and anger and hate. Why not stay in a world that's beyond that? And even Buddha said, not Buddha, the Pope, I'm wrong again. The Dalai Lama said, well, maybe in 4 or 5 lifetimes we'll be in peace. Well, we were in peace. It lasted for a pretty long time, but it ended. Mankind, when you give the idea of freedom, free will, and take away responsibility, that's why mankind is changing the world to fit their reality of what they want it to be, even though it's not good. A good reality, and I'm not dreaming, I'm not a dreamer, a visionary, a visionary. For a good reality means people don't hurt each other. People don't shoot each other. People don't abuse each other. I mean, that's the starting point of a society that's going to be in peace. Until that can happen, you accept each other for what they are. Why not be a black person? Why not be a red person? I'm red. Why do I want to be green? Why do I want to be white? Why do I want to associate with another religion if I don't want to? See, freedom and total freedom means we all have to agree on the same thing, because otherwise it couldn't be total freedom. We all have to agree that smoking marijuana is good. We all have to agree that having multiple wives is good. We all have to agree on everything, because if you're not, then you're not free. Or you can't have 10 wives, then already your freedom's not there. The concept of freedom is totally ridiculous. Oh, you can do what you want, but you're going to pay for it sooner or later, and usually sooner. Get on the highway and do 100 miles an hour and see how long you can do it before you get stopped and put in jail. I mean, when you think you have freedom, you don't. And when you do get freedom from God, it's not here, because you can't do much here. Soul can't. I mean, that's why all of the abilities we had were taken away. And I say this over and over. I could list them. One psychic ability, the psychic ability to see the future, would destroy the planet within a year. That person could take all the money on the planet, create his own society, and destroy the rest of it. If you could see one thing 1 minute in advance, not 10 years, 100 years, just 1 minute. You could go to a casino, put $2 million down on a wheel, and walk out of there with what, $100 million? And then you could just take that and put it on another wheel and walk out of there with $1 billion real fast. So psychic abilities would be abused now, and they are. When I was 16 and I started learning all my psychic abilities, I realized something really bad happened, and I realized they're not for this reality. They can't be used in this reality in a good way. I mean, I tell all the psychics, if you're so good at seeing, you could predict the future, go to a casino, get $10 million, and build 10 schools for homeless women. Build 10 children's centers. I mean, you could be Robin Hood, do something good. You don't have to be bad, but nobody can do what they say. I mean, even these people that say I can call UFOs down whenever I want and things, anytime they're put to a test, they can't. So psychic abilities that the men and women use today are such maybe like 1 or 2% of the actual ability.